All right, what's going on, big dogs? So today's video is going to be coming from far left field for sure. This clip I'm about to show you had me absolutely stunned. It was like finding out my Johnson has more than one purpose, but without any of the fun. I was absolutely flabbergasted, shocked, befuddled, and even appalled, you might say. So today we're going to be going over one of Hassan Piker's little mini-me's known as Frogan. Or Froggen. I'm not exactly sure, but I imagine it's Frogan. But Frogan being in hot water and getting Hassan into trouble is nothing new from this individual, as you can see. So she used to actually be one of Hassan's mods, and she actually ended up kind of getting one of her own little cult followings, basically. I believe she even got like a Rising Star Award at one point for her like popularity on Twitch. And so she is a Twitch partner, which is important because that'll come into play later. So Frogan today was streaming over on Twitch when she decided to drop one of the wildest takes that I have ever seen. Now, before I show you this clip, I think it's very important to say that this lady basically says everything that Hassan won't say. So she has all of the same, if not very similar, beliefs to Hassan. But whenever Hassan is cornered or gets caught up in a debate where he finds himself not winning, he's at least smart enough not to say the quiet part out loud. The part that he doesn't want people to know about his beliefs, which are really bad and overall probably wouldn't be accepted as well as some of his other beliefs. Frogan, on the other hand, just says whatever the hell she wants, and for some reason, Twitch has done nothing about it, and today's clip is no different. So today, Frogan, like I said, was streaming and said that she wishes all US soldiers or former soldiers get PTSD.
I have no pity at all for any fucking soldiers. Distress, thank you so much. I will never have any fucking pity for any fucking soldiers. US military? Boo fucking who? I hope you get PTSD.
So as you saw there, I was not joking. This lady is a real pile of work. I can't believe she said this. I really cannot believe that she said this live. And I can't believe Twitch has done nothing, at least at the time of this recording, Twitch has done nothing about it or said anything about it. But there already have been several videos made about this situation on YouTube. And it has a lot of people worked up because PTSD is definitely something that you shouldn't joke around about. I personally have friends and family members who suffer from PTSD, and it is nothing that I would even wish on my worst enemies. I mean, you have stories of people wandering off to parks or wandering off and not knowing where they're going. You have people committing suicide. It is just not a good illness to have. It's what it is. It's an illness. And it sucks the life out of people. It is nothing that you should be wishing on anybody, and especially hoping that they get for doing something as simple as joining the military. And it doesn't get any better from here. So she wishes that they all get PTSD, and then she tries to explain herself or kind of walk it back a little bit, but then goes right back into it. Like watching this clip, I almost thought, okay, here she is trying to walk it back, trying to be like, okay, I shouldn't have said that. But then she just completely doubles down at the very end of her statement, and it's disgusting. It's disgusting.
I do the ones the ones I'm like whatever about the US soldiers are the ones that like acknowledge that like what they did was wrong. They didn't know back then. Whatever. You're a good person in my book. I'm like a Tom, thank you so much for the 10 gifted. The US military that are like, yeah, like, you know, I did this back then, but now I know it's wrong, like I'm changed, like fuck imperialism, fuck this. You don't deserve the PTSD. But like any other motherfucker, you're joining them. You're like, oh my god, I want my fucking Camaro, no student loans. Fuck you. I hope you get PTSD.
See, like I said, it almost felt like she was walking that back, didn't it? It was kind of like, oh, okay, maybe she's walking it back a little bit. And then, nope, she just says it again anyways at the very end. So obviously her rule here is, I want you to get PTSD and suffer unless you think exactly like me. So she is once again saying the quiet part out loud. A lot of these, she's a very far left individual. I am not trying to say that everybody on the left is like this. I'm not. Okay. I got flamed for generalizing or whatever people in my last video about Hassan, which was not the point. I'm not generalizing everybody. I'm not grouping all of them together. I am simply saying that there are a decent amount of people on the far left, not the left, the far left, the real crazies out there, just like the far right, the real crazies out there who believe in this shit. Like, they genuinely believe that when you sign up for the military, what you're really signing up for is genocide. What you're really signing up for is because you want to kill people, because you want to go over there, because you want to murder people. When the fact of the matter is, a lot of people join up for the military for a large variety of reasons. And I would bet zero of them are because they're like, I hope I get to murder somebody. Because there are rules of war. In the US, for the most part, follows the rules of war. It's the other people who, hide behind women and children who are not following the rules of war. And yet, the US military is still always the bad guys for whatever reason. But like I said, the reasons are going to vary drastically. I know people who have joined because it pays well. They needed to make money. They had a kid on the way, or they wanted to get married to the girl of their dreams, but they just didn't have the money, and the military pays pretty well if you go full time. Maybe they just wanted to go through college and not have to pay their tuition. Or in some instances, and one of the more popular ones I tend to see is they had family members who were in it and they just want to carry on that tradition. They want to serve their country. They genuinely believe that when they're joining up with the military, that they are serving their country, that they are doing their part as like a true patriot to the country by joining up with its military. Many people join the military for a lot, basically those reasons. And so to wish harm upon them, to me, is disgusting. And I'm not the only one who thinks this. I actually saw this over on Twitter, and it was actually a repost from NVMEX, who actually had this to say about it. Quote, "Shit pisses me off. Look, there's still so many of us in the streaming world that appreciate our veterans and those that serve this country. Thank you for our freedoms. We are grateful for our privilege." And that's really good. That is a really good statement, and it's something that I mirror. I am very grateful that I get to sit here and make YouTube videos and people get to leave mean and shitty comments on my videos. I'm thankful for that, because there's a lot of places out there that don't get that opportunity. They don't even know what YouTube is. They barely know what the internet is in some of these places. And they're struggling every day. Like, we live in a wonderful place, and a lot of that is thanks to the soldiers that serve and protect. And if it wasn't for them, a lot of these freedoms that we all love, like, Frogan would not be able to say what she just said about these veterans if it wasn't for these veterans and for these soldiers. She wouldn't be able to have the platform she has if she wasn't in this country. I don't know if she was like, if her family came over here or if she came over here. I don't know her full backstory by any means, but she's clearly a minority. I'm not trying to be mean, but she's clearly a minority. And, she is one to complain about being a minority. But when you're in a place like the US and you're able to say all these things and complain about the country and all these other things, there's a lot of countries that if you were to do that, like China, for instance, if you speak out against the government, or like North Korea, you don't wake up. Like, it gets really bad in some places. So I always feel really grateful that I'm even able to do this. Like, when I get bad comments, when I have bad days, when life kicks you when you're already down a little bit, like, I always stop and think about the things I should be happy about, I should be grateful for. And a lot of these things that I am grateful for, when you really sit and think about it, are because of the men and women who have served and protected. So I really have to tip my hat to NVMEX for actually doing that. That was really good. But that is really all I have for you guys today. It's a crazy video. It is something I was not expecting to see, and she needs to be stopped. I'm hoping that she gets punished. I'm hoping that she at least gets somewhat of a ban or a suspension. I don't know if she's going to get permanently banned or anything like that. I'm imagining it's going to be like a 3-day suspension at the worst, if that. But we'll see. If anything does happen, I'll be sure to tweet about it. So make sure you follow me on that, which will be linked down below, along with all my other socials, especially my Twitch, which is where I get this awesome gameplay you guys are seeing. So you guys should definitely come check that out. That's where we just chat, hang out, maybe talk about video topics, or just hang out and chat like bros. Who knows? But anyways, guys, thank you guys for sticking around to the end of the video. And until the next video, guys.
I love you guys. I make all you guys the crackers of the days today. Make some noise for yourself.